Hi, it's Gary with Successful Gardens, and today we're going to be talking about another holiday flower called Paperwhites. Paperwhites come from the family Narcissus, related to the daffodil, but Narcissus paperacea is their Latin name that they're known by, and they are a bulb that is natively grown in the Mediterranean region. So ranging in Greece, Portugal, Morocco, Israel, places like that, you'll find Paperwhites in their native splendor. Today I'm going to share with you some growing tips on how you can enjoy this flower for the holidays. Now when you purchase or get your Paperwhites and you haven't planted them before, obviously you want to read the instructions, but this one just says right here on the package, it says Paperwhite Ziva, that's the variety, and it says just add water and enjoy. And so we're going to pop this open. It doesn't say how many bulbs are in here, but I would assume with a picture like that, there's going to be several bulbs in here. So, there's some more directions on the back, but let's look what we have. So this package comes with a peat pellet. This is cocoa fiber. When they say add water, that's all you do. This is going to absorb water and create the potting soil that we need for this. So let's add some water to that. Then here inside at the bottom is the amount of bulbs. Oh man, I'm disappointed. They gave me 3 bulbs in here. However, maybe a redeeming quality is that this bulb is starting to split, so this is a double bulb. It looks like this one is a double, possibly a triple, just because of the swelling. So with that, let's get some water going on this. All right, let's hydrate this potting soil, or this Coco Peat. Now, the instructions say add to a container, add 2 cups of warm water, and wait for about 15 minutes. And that's approximately how much it is. So you can see it's starting to expand and absorb that water. That's the nice thing about Coco Peat, is Coco Peat is hydrophilic type of planting material. So meaning it likes water, it absorbs water. So you can see how fast it's starting to absorb and to expand. So we'll just set that aside and watch that go. Now, as you can see with the absorption of water, that little tiny disc has swollen up, absorbed enough for all this. So we will break this up, loosen it up, and even inside has absorbed the water. So we are good. We don't have to add any more water to this. So when planting in a pot with potting soil, with Paperwhites, you want to plant halfway up to the bulb. You don't want to fully submerge them in soil, so you want some of the bulb exposed in that. So we'll add the soil to this pot and plant accordingly. I have excess pottings, some extra, so I will save that for another project. Alright, so with this potting soil in there, I'm just going to take these bulbs and gently put them down to the top of this soil, and that will allow for roots to develop. Now, one thing I can do to one of the challenges with planting Paperwhites subsurface is sometimes with Paperwhites, their foliage, the green leaves, can grow, 12, sometimes 16, 18 inches tall. And if they don't have a root base to anchor them into whatever planting soil or pot that you have them in, sometimes those flowers or these bulbs will actually tip over because of the flower stalk that is up top. And so one way to help with root development is taking this pot, and instead of putting it directly into the sunlight right now, is to keep it in a cool, dark area for an additional 2 weeks. Now, blooming time with Paperwhites, they normally would start blooming anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks. If you were to actually leave these bulbs in this pot out in your front room or in a windowsill where house temperatures are up in the 70s, they might actually sneak in there and start blooming at about 3 to 4 weeks. Because I only got 3 bulbs in this planting kit, in this pot I was actually hoping for 5, but maybe I should have looked at the price and came to that conclusion. I'm going to plant this in a different pot, and I'm going to show you a different method that is very easy to use with Paperwhites. Paperwhite bulbs are very easy to grow in various growing conditions. And one thing that is really neat and interesting to see is to have them planted in gravel, shallow dishes, so that you can actually see the bulb and the roots. Because I have 3 bulbs, I'm going to plant these bulbs in this glass vase. And so I'm going to take some gravel. I've placed enough gravel in here, and then I'm going to just take the bulbs. You can see the basal plate where the roots are going to grow. You want to just set those down into the rocks. And this little glass vase is perfect for 3 bulbs like this. If the leaves or the stalks of the Paperwhite start to get a little too tall, even taller than what this vase would handle, I can take a dowel or a planting stake and then insert it down into the roots of this vase. In fact, I think I'm just going to plant on this. And that would allow for me to tie the stalks off, the flower stalks off, and give that the support that it needs. Go ahead and add the water. I just want enough water to come to the bottom of those roots, and not to have the whole bulb submerged in that. Now that I've added the water, this is ready to go. All I have to do is set it aside. It will have the support that it needs if the roots don't fully develop to anchor the plants into this. I can set this on the shelf, on the counter, and we're ready to go. It's as simple as that for growing Paperwhites. Now, once the flowers have bloomed and faded away, it's almost impossible to get Paperwhites to rebloom. And so that's why this is the one bulb, even though it hurts every time I throw them away, this is the one bulb I will throw away and not try to force or to rebloom. It won't survive the winters if I were to plant them outside, just because it gets too cold in my area. Hopefully I've shared something with you today to help you feel more confident in growing Paperwhites. They're really easy to grow. In fact, they're probably one of the simplest and easiest flowers to grow, especially during the winter months. I'll list below some companies that offer Paperwhites for you to purchase. Some of the bulb companies that I'm very confident in and I myself have ordered Paperwhites from. Until next time, this is Gary with Successful Gardens, and remember, let's get growing.